Manchester United players have been exposed by one of the biggest legends this club has ever had. My name is Webb. Welcome to the United of Sport. And here is a biting expose of these United players who clearly, like we've always thought, do not want to play for the club no more. Now, Wayne Rooney, who to many is probably the best or greatest striker the English Premier League has seen, has come out and made a very big statement saying that he does not believe in this whole injury talk when it comes to certain players. Rooney says he thinks certain players have just put the tools down. They are saying they don't want to play this club for this manager no more, and they are hiding behind injuries. Now, this is huge. I think, if anything, I think INEOS is supposed to investigate this. Now, I saw people going out on his, of course, commenting to this and saying, how would Rooney say this now? That's the exact thing. By the time Wayne Rooney comes out on TV, on national TV, international TV, and he makes such a statement after that poor performance against Arsenal, he's coming from somewhere. For starters, he's not anyone. He knows that if Rooney makes a statement, it certainly must be coming from somewhere. He talks to some of these players. He's a role model to some of these players. He played a little bit with some of these players, but also he lives with some of these players, because up to now, in case you don't know, Rooney still has a house in that rich neighborhood, or the exclusive neighborhood of Manchester United. If you pass Carrington and continue, there is a rich neighborhood that's exclusive to mostly players stay there. I think Eriksen comes from that side, Anthony Martial, Rasmus Højlund. Some of these players stay in that exclusive neighborhood. So he knows he cannot just come out and make such a statement when he knows that people will, I think, jump on it and try to expound it. It's coming from somewhere. We've said it here before that some of these players do not want at all to play for the club. Now, Wayne Rooney has had it. He has had enough of it. He's tired of seeing players who are not, interested, who do not show effort, who have no desire, and he has come out and bottled it. He has said that certain players are just hiding behind injuries. But you think about it. Yes, we've had all these injuries. Yes, Erik Ten Hag says it's bad luck. Yes, there could be other issues, but guys, we've seen players, we know players who will take the biggest form of injections to play for Manchester United. Professional players will play it. For a professional player to completely go out for a long time, it should be because they really can't play. But certain players, simple pain, and they are saying we can't play. Gabriel Jesus says he does not recall the last time he played without pain. I could tell you Jack Wilshere and how long he played with an injury. You will talk about Rooney himself, played for a long time with pain. Players endure this pain at this level because you cannot be without any pain in your body if you're playing football at the topmost level. You cannot. It's impossible because the demands and the standards of that competition just calls for pain in your body at some point. You either have got to take the injections or you play through the pain, push yourself to. But he says certain players are now just hiding behind the injuries because they're saying they want the manager to suffer alone with this team. Now, these are the things we've been saying, that we might struggle to perform, but we cannot struggle with players who do not even want to play. You'd rather offload them and struggle with players who want to play, but probably are not good enough. That's different. You're thinking, how can we help these players improve? Or can we just get the right players? Or can we get the right manager to get them playing well? But if the players themselves are downing the tools before everyone, the fans are still hoping and pushing and believing. Fans of United hoped against hope that Manchester United would play in the Champions League, would be among the top 4. But these players had already given up. They are saying they are not for them. They have had it. They cannot be humiliated like this for whichever reason, by the way. And we know that many of these players perhaps don't want to play for Erik Ten Hag because of his methods and the intensity of his methods and all. But there is that thing called professionalism in football, that you've got to be a professional. Professionalism means you've got to do your job. If you don't like the conditions under which you're doing your job, walk up to your manager, speak to them, and tell them, I don't like this. This is what the Wayne Rooneys did. They would go, even when they had the most fierce manager in Sir Alex Ferguson, they would still walk up to him and knock on his door. Rooney would tell him, like Cristiano Ronaldo was sold, let go of. Rooney walked and went to Sir Alex Ferguson and asked him, what's going on? Why did you sell Ronaldo? What's the plan? And of course, everyone would say, who goes to Sir Alex Ferguson to ask him why he did something? Yes, that is what you do as a player who is professional, because you still want to play. Otherwise, if you stay silent and just say I'm downing the tools, that's unprofessionalism of the highest order, and you will be found out, trust you me. Now, this is what is beginning to happen. And these are the same players we are still shouting, maybe we need to help them. They just have a bad spell, a bad period, da, 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 da. But they don't care. They don't care about the club no more. They are paid so much money. Imagine at the end of every week, they will keep earning there so much money from money you spend on buying club stuff and what have you, and tickets and what have you. But they don't care about the club. So you are more serious. Some people who are actually these days have a common joke that Man United supporters are more serious than the players. Now, if Wayne Rooney is coming out to say that, it's unfortunate. It has got to be investigated by INEOS, and I mean, it has got to be dealt with immediately. It has got to be dealt with. These are players who should not even put on that jersey no more. Because if you cannot respect the club, even if the club is struggling, as a player, the basic thing you've got to do is die with your team, die for the club. And that's why there are so many players you look at and see the passion. You see, and it's clear to identify these players, by the way. It's clear to tell which players are hiding behind injuries. I won't name names, really, because I may not have the evidence, but it is not difficult at all. It's so difficult. It's not difficult at all to tell which players have just downed their tools and are saying, we're not playing no more. Let me just earn my money. Let's wait and see what INEOS will do about these players. Certainly, INEOS is said to do something about them. It is, but I will tell you, we might blame the manager for what we can blame him for where we are. But trust you me, the players have got a lot to do with where Manchester United is now. And it again goes back to how do we recruit these players? You cannot be just recruiting players on the merit of they have shown some bit of skill here and there. The mentality, the character, the personality, the desire, there is more now to recruiting a Man United player than just their footballing abilities. I think they are who are they as a person, because it's inhuman of a footballer, a professional footballer, to be earning so much money, hundreds of thousands of pounds per week, but don't care about the club, even when you see this club is in a serious dire situation. As a player, you don't care. All you care about is earning your money. It's so bad. It's so ugly. It looks so ugly on them players that there's no excuse for it. So we can, yes, blame Erik ten Hag for what has gone wrong with him, but these players have got to be put right. The right players have got to come into this club. Otherwise, it's extremely terrible, this situation at the club. Now, what then does Erik ten Hag do? For me, play those who want to play. Stick with the youngsters. You saw what they did. What should have been the weakest squad on paper, try to deliver something against Arsenal. Stick to those who want to play until you get a window where you can bring in the big, serious players and give them a chance. So these players who think they have made it in life because they're earning crazy amounts of money, they don't want to play for the club no more, they're ashamed by putting on the badge, let them go elsewhere where they will not be ashamed of their badge, where they will earn their money for doing what they don't, for doing whatever they want with themselves, and let's see where their careers will head. But trust you me, this rot has got to stop. My name is Webb. This is the United of Sport. Subscribe, and I'll catch you later.